How's it going? Unfortunately, this is not clickbait, so I'm not ever gonna do that to you guys, at least if I can help it. But I've known this for a really long time. I don't know why there's a question mark in the thumbnail, but I just don't feel comfortable making it a statement yet because I feel like everyone's arguing about the labels and I don't even want to participate. And up until recently, I was worried about my family's approval, but anyone that's following the channel knows that I just cut all of them off. So now I'm like, uh-oh, I've only been dating men for my family. Oh, that hurts to say. I'm gonna have to use some notes for this video. My brain is literally fried. Not literally. I actually just watched a crime scene investigator talk about that. It's like a crime scene, they cleaned up some pots and pans and yeah, so not that kind of brain fried, but I don't know, sorry, I just can't think straight. Like that's foreshadowing. No, I've never been able to think straight. I was actually essayed as a child when I was 4, and it was by someone of the same sex that was a little bit older than me and in the family. And then, you know, that's what I thought that how little girls played, and in order to, you know, do those things to another person and play, they had to be girls. So I started having those experiences with girls in elementary school, and it was very messed up. And I'm even very messed up in the head forever doing that. I've had to go to therapy about that. And I have a lot of internalized misogyny that's separate from that. But I just mean, I've been abusive to women. You know, I didn't have misogyny as a child, at least knowingly, right? But we grow up in this culture where misogyny is definitely a thing. And I feel like people throw that around just like the narcissist. But you know, I keep it real here. I'm not gonna like tiptoe around certain words that I can't use. I can use it. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, I'm realizing that I have a lot of internalized homophobia, like a lot of people. And I genuinely do not feel like I judge others for it, truly. But just for myself, I have this like really bad feeling, like this guilt in my conscience whenever I think about those things, even when I, you know, when I've done things like, for instance, this isn't in the notes, but my dead mother bought me a vehicle technically. And it was like this last fall-ish, I took a girl out, or sorry, maybe the last one. Don't say I'm like cheating on someone. I was single, I was so single, and I was seeing this girl, and her living situation was weird. I lived with my family, so we only had my car. But since my dead mother bought me that car, I'm like, I'm not gonna screw this girl in it. You know what I mean? Like, so I did. But still, I've had all this guilt when I'm in situations like that, and that's caused me to never pursue a relationship with a female. So, I'm realizing that I have a lot of that internalized homophobia, but not towards other people, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to me on that. I'm repulsed by BJs, and I'm really sorry to say this, and I didn't realize it until this last relationship, and I'm sorry to say that as well, but I want nothing to do with that hardware if it's not a certain storage, we'll say, not size, storage, a certain amount of gigs. I need that, okay? I don't know, maybe it's the animalistic part of me. I just need someone to lay it down sometimes, okay? And I'm like sober from alcohol. That's what I'm noticing with him. Like, I think that's why he abused me in a schmexual way, is because he's sober too from alcohol. And a sober, traumatized person, you're like, what's their pacifier, right? Like, what are they using? And he was using me, quite literally a pacifier. That's why he should be calling me mommy. No, but seriously, I think it was Gas Station Princess. She says more unhinged shit than me, but she said one time, like, if you suck my, you know, you have to call me mommy. And I just like, I never forgot that. And so but anywho, so I just want nothing to do with them under a certain caliber. So it's hard to admit, no pun intended, but I am almost like exclusively, I have in the past almost exclusively watched lesbian porn, and I have never harder than when I cause a woman to receive pleasure or even watch it. I watched a lot of porn in my early years, and in person, it's just like the thing that really does it for me more than anything else in this world is her face and her body. And I'm trying to keep it appropriate, just like the sounds that she makes, even the tiny ones like her breath, and just knowing that you are the reason that she's making those sounds, like that's what gets me, you know, there when I'm thinking about it with a specific person. So I'm not right now, I'm just thinking about it in a very vague way, but I think we need to start talking about that stuff. And this is like when it's genuine and it's for like someone that I care about. Maybe it is egotistical because I'm thinking about it. I have to be honest with you guys. I've let it go to my ego in person when I didn't really love that woman or girl. I don't mean to sound like that. What do people even say? See, I haven't even ever been able to talk about this, so I don't even know what terminology and vernacular to even use. You know, I'm not part of the LGBTQ plus community just because I feel like there's always a lot of attacks on me, whether it's the firearms or as a bisexual, you actually get a lot of hate because there's not two genders anymore. So if you identify as a bisexual, which I came out as a bisexual in middle school to my best friend and her mom. I was cross-dressing in high school. I forced myself to have my first experience with a man when I was 17. And then I just convinced myself to like it. And since the first significant one, well, first of all, I had one right out of high school that was very short, not serious, we didn't live together, and I fantasized about him because he did treat me well. You know, we were fresh out of high school, he wasn't traumatized by women yet either. So we were just, and I mean, I haven't been traumatized by it, but we traumatize each other, you guys. So yeah, that one was good, and I think I've been chasing that since. I'm like, but he was like more feminine. The people that I worked with called him an FAG. Where's your little FAG boyfriend? When I was 18. Because he was very pretty, okay? And I've always been searching that. But like these little bi boys that I've been dating, they are the worst ones. I'm so sorry. This is about to get nasty and really controversial, and it's getting really hot in here, and I think sweat just dripped down my arm. But yeah, I had to convince myself. I've always been chasing that. The first one suffocated me in a bathtub while I was hyperventilating and trying to calm down from him. He came into the bathroom with clothes on. I was not in clothes. I was taking a shower trying to calm my body myself, self-soothing. He jumps into the tub with me and covers my mouth because he doesn't want me screaming, because I said, get away from me, and I started to raise a scream at the top of my lungs, and he didn't want the neighbors to hear. So he covered my mouth, and I kept ripping it away for a second. I can't breathe. So-and-so, I can't breathe. Stop. And he heard me. I said it multiple times. And he went to jail, and I went and stayed with a friend. And as soon as he got out of jail, he was sending me emails that he was praying about it and typing out prayers. So manipulative. I suffered. I survived. I fought through and came out with a head on my shoulders somehow of like literal religious cults. Okay? Like the brainwashing, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful about the cult thing, because there's very serious cults out there, but there's a lot of religious trauma that is happening that are not in cults. I think they are cults. Anyways, back on track. So there was a lot of that, but I don't get that whole like noises thing with the women. It goes to my head and I feel high. Okay, I don't get that with guys. Like the last guy that I was with, that I just broke up with, I don't want to air his dirty laundry, but I think I could say he doesn't make a single sound. And like, I don't know when anything's happening, like not a change of breath, like nothing. And he shared with me that one time, because I'm like, why don't you say when you're gonna, because I'm just like always just waiting, and anywho, or if it's over, I'm like, oh, why'd you stop? And they'll be like, well, and I'm like, oh. So I don't know, it's really, he said that a girl told him one time she made fun of the noises that he made, whatever it was. I don't know what, I've only been with the guys that I've been with. I don't know. I've never heard a schmexual sound come from this guy. And he's not here. Sorry, I don't know why I'm pointing in his room. I shouldn't even do that. I shouldn't be gossiping, but like, you know what? I'm just having a hard time with reality right now, as you can imagine. The autistic girl is about to lose her lid. You know what I mean? So I'm just, You guys are my friends, you're my family, you're all that I have, and I want to talk to you, and I should be able to vent, and you guys deserve the motherfucking tea. Oh, I hope I don't have to blow that out, that slipped, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm repulsed by BJs. We got the noises. Yeah, like, I don't know, and then with the cumin, yeah, it's like with a guy, he just does that, and then at best you have to go clean yourself off or sit on the toilet for 10 minutes and just, you know, let it gravity take over. But anyways, I told my friends in high school that I was gay, and I told my best friend that I was bisexual in middle school. There's daddy and mommy issues going on. I got mommy issues too, and I love a girl's chest. I really do, and I know that I have mommy issues because I will stay there doing that for hours with her holding me, and like, I melt. My soul melts. It's not even like a schmexual thing, okay? It's like this feels like it's healing part of me, but I feel like my dad wound is bigger. Hence, I've always chased men in a romantic way and women in a schmexual way. We've been to therapy the last few years to get into the bottom. Well, actually, it all was kicked off by my second husband telling me that I was a lesbian with daddy issues. And I was so mad when he said that, but I have not got that out of my head since. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna take some time and be single. I don't know who I wanna date, what I wanna date, if I want to date, okay? But I really just wanna say that I think that I've always wanted my family's approval, but the second I don't need that anymore, like right now, I suddenly want nothing to do with a man, and it's really freaking me out. Like, I genuinely do not judge other people for their choices, so this is such a controversial video to make. Like, before my mom died when I was 10, she installed a very rigid set of values in me, and I have been able to discard a couple that I don't completely agree with, but that one about the same-sex thing, that's stuck. And I don't know what to think of it. I'm just trying to be real with you guys, no hate, I swear. Someone needs to talk about this. It makes me, I feel sick, I'm so nervous. But I think there's been a lot of brainwashing in society, and I don't know who to believe. So I have to admit that aspects of a male relationship feel good, but I think that the issues I've had, but I think that's the issues that I've had with my father speaking. Just holding me. Also men's chest. I don't know why I have a thing for chests. Like, anyways, also their chest, which is weird. Like the big muscles, being able to throw me around, being able to beat someone up for me. Like, I'm attracted to that. But it's like, at what cost? The juice is not worth the squeeze, if you feel me. I think I'll be single, like I said, until I figure it out. Because, or unless another pretty more feminine guy comes along, but like those ones seem to be the ones that traumatize me the most, okay? So I'm real nervous. I think I'm good with this little dog. I think that's good. Like, that's all the companionship that I need. And even like normal looking ones, like not even like the more feminine men that I've dated, even like the normal looking ones, I've been doing some research, and why are there so many instances of men literally hating the women that they're romantically pursuing? Like Princess Diana, that's the most famous one, I think. But it's actually like this sick psychological thing that most of them aren't even aware of. If they see you as above them in any area, whether it's financial, success, emotional maturity, they resent you. It's cruel, and I don't think I'll survive another one. In fact, in this last fight, I told him that, because he's like, what are you doing? And I pressed the button because I have to log when I'm getting chest pains and like palpitations and stuff. And I was really mean. And I said, because we have to log it, I have to log it. We who with heart monitors. I don't have one chronically. Sorry for making it sound like that. I'm not trying to get sympathy, but I'm just saying, like, to log it. I was really mean, and I said I should just put your name down, like, for every reason as to why I'm experiencing that. I'm like, it's pretty much you. And while it's true, that's probably a really hurtful thing to receive. And so my heart's breaking in a few different ways. It's even breaking for him, which is weird. But that's why I'm cranking out these videos, because this, and living with someone that I still love, that they turned off theirs, someone that I don't even know that well, being in this situation, having the YouTube, this is so unique. And so, I don't know, like, I think it's kind of funny. I told my best friend, because after I made those videos a while ago and talked about my sexuality, I don't know if I can say that on here, please forgive me, but he called me one day and he's like, hey, look, so I need to, and I'm like, you're gay. And he's like, how did you know? And so he's been like going through this whole thing. But you know what? I've watched him be miserable trying to navigate heterosexual relationships, and it's just not work. It doesn't work for some people. And I can't tell if that's our sexual preference or trauma. I'm still trying to decide. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I literally don't think I'll survive another one. But my best friend, I told him when he was exploring with the, you know, same-sex thing, he was kind of hoeing around. And we've all been there, right? But I'm like, hey, don't come crawling back to me with a broken heart, an STD, and a stretched out asshole. You know what I mean? And here I am. I just got dumped. He gave me this horrible cough. And on the real, ladies, he gave me BV on his way out. I've only gotten up for one guy, and he wasn't very clean at that point. He was going through some things, and I was trying to be understanding, but I let him, and then I got this little infection. And like, you just have to put this like kind of, I think it's boric acid powder in a little capsule when you sleep, and then in a week it's gone. So it's not like a STD or anything, but it's just so ironic because I talked so much shit. Like, well, don't come crawling back to me. And then literally he was the first one I called when he walked out. What was the last night or the night before, and turned his location off. I tried to call him, he ignored my call. And I wanted to go off because he knows that that is my one big trigger. And I wanted to go off, and I sat on my bed and I took a few deep breaths, and I sent him something that wasn't mean, and I'm so proud of myself. But I just said, I don't remember what I said actually, but I was just like, how dare you? I'm worried for your safety. I'm glad that you left your gun here. Because we both have mental health problems, and I don't know how serious yours are. I don't know what people, I know that I would never hurt myself or another person, but I'm really starting to wonder. Pardon. But like, look around. It's like 99 point something percent of people are trash. Trash, 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 not for you. Not watching The Notebook again. Not after this breakup. I did my last one, and I stayed in bed crying for 5 hours after that. Not going there. But anywho, but yeah, the whole like, not to jump around, but the whole LGBTQ plus has become more of like, in my opinion, when I was trying to be a part of it, it was more like a, you're not really this, or you're not really that, with things like trans lesbians, bisexuals, right? Since there technically are no longer two genders, we are just completely done away with. And sometimes I wonder how many people might get a guilty conscience, but they're already in months or years into a relationship, and they know it's messed up to tell their partner, hey, I don't think I'm gay anymore. But also we need to recognize how this can create a slippery slope. I'm so scared of that happening. I'm scared of being with a woman and then realizing that my daddy issues are greater than my mommy issues, and I need to go get that and I cannot die without getting that validation from a man. I never want to have to break her heart like that. So I don't date women. And that's not any better. It's not any better. Sorry, that one got me emotional. But, you know, I've hurt people too, and I'm trying to mature. But I recognize how this can probably create a slippery slope if we're not careful. And I've fluctuated so much about my sexual identity throughout my life, my gender identity here and there, but it was always my sexual identity. It was always going like this. My gender identity, you know, it was a short time in high school, which is why, you guys, I'm sorry, but that's why I have a problem with the trans people in the schools, with the brainwashing, and the trans peoples in women's spaces. That's the only two problems I have. Please just wait till you're of age, which I think should be closer to 25, because my brain, and I could be projecting, and I'm sorry, but my brain didn't come online until I was like 25, so it just scares the shit out of me. And I love you guys, I don't even know you, but just please be careful. And there's so many risks of hormones, whether you're on them or after you get off of them, or menopause, and people are hitting freaking menopause at 19 and like some wild stuff. You guys, please be careful. I'm not trying to be hateful, but sorry. But my sexual identity has always fluctuated, both with who I'm attracted to and with how confident and self-respecting I am. I've always felt like I needed to be needed in that way. And that was my purpose. And I heard someone earlier talking about like, life does not revolve around romantic relationships. And I needed to hear that. I wish that girl could have slapped me through the screen. Literally, and not in that way. Just kidding. No, she was really pretty though. But I will not objectify women. It was just a joke. But yeah, trying to keep it light because I am sweating right now. But I feel like I needed to be needed, and that sexually, like, that was my purpose. Like, my purpose was to bring them pleasure. And that's actually the opposite. Like, neither one of us should just be giving. It should be this mutual exchange, blah, blah, blah. You guys know. So me and my best friend made the most homophobic jokes, even just the last few years. And like, he knows that I've been, you know, with women and stuff, so I thought that it was okay. And I shouldn't have been friends with somebody, no offense, this is getting sticky, but like, you know, I'm just admitting to it. I'm just being real. Only to get to the point of like, the people that are the most homophobic are usually, you know what I mean? So let's just leave that there. It really is so true, you guys. Just like the people, this guy, I just hate lying, I can't stand it. Lies to my face for 2 weeks straight. That's why he can't stand it, because he can't stand to look at it in himself. So me and my best friend would make the most homophobic jokes, and we both turned out to be gay as hell. But then I asked him if we really were gay as hell, just because both of us have been in heterosexual things and like not even recognized that until recently. I mean, I have, but I've gone back and forth. So I'm like, are we really even gay? Like, cause I'm like, because we both technically identify as bisexual. So at this point, like, I had a little light bulb go off in my head and it all clicked together. Like, we look around and we think that there's an increase in mental illness and trans people and gay people. Not that they're synonymous, but there is certainly an overlap, right? And just because there is an increase does not mean that it just came out of nowhere, or like we're brainwashing each other. Like, this is coming from somewhere. Like, they're turning the frogs gay. But like, on a real note, you guys, like, I try to keep it light in here, but there is an increase in people traumatizing each other. And I'm talking about our parents traumatizing us. We never got what we needed as a child. So whether it's your mother wound, your father wound, or both, you need to sort that out. I need to sort that out. I don't even know what gender to go date, because I don't even know myself in that way. I've been hiding for so long. And I'm not saying I'm a lesbian, and I'm not saying I'm gay. I'm Twyla. And I just want someone that's not gonna traumatize me repeatedly and feel nothing. That's my sexual identity. And I'm sorry for getting so real, but I feel like it's gonna kill me. And this is so freaking serious. But this little light bulb, and it's not that trans people and gay people are a mental illness, but all of this stuff is on the rise. Depression, anxiety, suicide. I heard a statistic that in college-age men, that is the #1 cause of death. And I don't know if that's true. I didn't do research before this video. I just heard it in someone else's video, so that is not researched. But maybe it's even beyond that. I've heard horrible things about dads getting their kids taken away from them, and crime scene investigators. I don't know why I watch all that. I'm sorry, I'm sick. But like, the crime scene investigators have to clean up, and they say they find a lot of dads that lost custody. But these are men's issues. And I'm not trying to turn my back on you guys, but how much do you, like, this is insanity. You don't need me to be generic and put that quote in there, because everybody does, and it makes my skin crawl. But this is insanity. We look around and we think that there's an increase. There's an increase in trauma. There's an increase in broken homes, filling the void that can never be filled. That's what there's an increase in. I really do feel like I'm more sexually attracted to females, but I feel this huge biological drive towards men for some reason. It's evolution. When I think back to intimate experiences with these huge muscular men, a lot of them with masculinity, like genuine masculinity, unfortunately, it hurts me to admit. But maybe it's the illusion of masculinity, right? But these like huge things, and like just who laid it down so animalistically, I can't think about it for too long, okay? It does things. So obviously I'm attracted to both of those. Not that there's only two, you know what I mean? But like, I have noticed that it's either like, or, I don't know how to say that. Like, it's just my preference, and that's okay. I've never gotten the opportunity. No one that as non-binary has ever taken an interest in me. You know, just personally, I'm not trying to say that for sympathy or anything. I've never tried. It's just like, I've just never happened to have that experience. I've only had a handful of like more serious, like even like flings with women. Because I know that deep-rooted thing of like, what if I'm really not? I can't get in a relationship with her. And then if I make up my mind 10 years down the line, oh wait, I'm not gay anymore, that's gonna shatter her world, and I'm not gonna do that to her. I don't even know her, the girl in my dreams. I got close once. Her name was Rachel. And I'm sorry for name dropping like that. But I used to work with her, and I still think about her from time to time. And I thought that it was impossible, because my view of compatibility was so skewed. Okay, hot take, but she liked Michael Jackson. She was like really like kind of rigid, but like she was kind of mean to everyone, like kind of rude, but like she was sweet to me, and I think that just made me melt. And we went on a Shirley Temple date one time, and it was just, I never got her out of my head. She was technically my manager, but we were the same age, and we kind of looked alike, and it was weird, and people would call us each other's names, and it was weird. But I just thought we weren't compatible because of the music, or like that she would get mad at me because I'm not more, you know, and I just thought that it would never work. But I've never stopped thinking about her, and like everything about her. I'm not crying about her right now. What's going on? Sorry, this is so creepy. I haven't talked to her in like 2 years, but I just never stopped thinking about you. I don't think she'll ever see this, but I know I had her on Instagram. She might wander over here, but I really do feel like that is my preference. But it seems like I'm a weird mix of attracted to, you know, both ends of the spectrum at least, or at least roughly, because in a romantic way, I am almost exclusively driven to men. And that's probably because my mom stayed and my dad left. And you need to start to evaluate why you have your preference, and is it really your preference? I think we are all making this a little bit overcomplicated. Like now I have these female friendships, and I'm sorry, but I had this like couple of female friends that I met a few months ago. I downloaded Bumble, and I was genuinely looking for friends and roommates and stuff. And I met this one girl, and she's really, really pretty. She is. Like, I don't know that I would date her because I don't think I'm her type romantically, and vice versa, and she's straight. But like, she's very, very pretty. But now I feel like I can't even tell her, you know, and now I'm experiencing all the things that we judge that community for. And I'm sorry that it took this to be honest about it. That you guys have seen the trauma. Me and my best friend added it up. 9 men have shattered my heart. And he joked that he's gonna get me like a freaking veteran's hat. The 9 lives on it. 9 men have shattered my heart in very significant ways. Beat the crap out of my dog. Got physical with me. Used my trauma against me. Spit it in my face like this guy. Said I'm not gonna treat you differently because of the autism. Lies about having autism. My heart has been put through a blender, and I've said that on this channel before the last couple. I think since this channel I've dated 3 of them. So when is a bitch allowed to throw in the towel without judgment? Thank you. This is Twyla's couch, except for it's my bed, because that's all I've got right now. I really appreciate the support, though. I'm sorry for that sudden flip. You guys probably think I'm insane. But I don't know what I would do without you guys. And this is amazing. The Discord, everything. I won't get too sappy, but one hug. Oh my gosh! I just spilled water on my laptop. Better go sort that out. Love you guys.